What's going on, everyone? It's Corey here from the Break Evens, giving you another FPL video today. We missed last week because international break, not much FPL to do there. So I thought I'd take that week off, go back this week. So what we're going to do in this video is go through my game week. Was it game week 3 side, how that went, and my thoughts on any transfers I'm going to do, maybe look at a few players. And I'm also going to dive into what teams to target if you're thinking about wildcarding in game week 4. So, yeah, lots to come. So, just before we get into all of that, though, got to go through the social. So don't forget, you can find me on Twitter at BreakEvensPod. Make sure to give a follow there. On Facebook, the Break Evens Facebook page. Everything that's posted on Twitter is posted there as well. So the Break Evens Facebook page. And of course, here on YouTube, the Break Evens. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe on all of those social media platforms as I post all the content you see in this video. Every Friday, I post my best buys to worst buys every week for FPL. And also, each day I post the price changes. So if someone goes up 0.1, I put a photo there. If someone goes down, it's there as well. So to keep up with all price changes and FPL content, again, on Twitter at BreakEvensPod, on Facebook, the Break Evens, and here on YouTube. So that's all done and dusted. So let's see how my team went in game week 3. All right, so as you can see, I scored 82 for game week 3, and I made two transfers, which means I took a -4. So considering that, it's not too bad of a week. So let's see how my team fared. So we'll start with the goalkeeper and defenders. Henderson 4, take that. Hasn't been many clean sheets, unfortunately, for Crystal Palace. So that is annoying, but I will take the 4 points. It's a lot better than ones and twos. Gavardiol, so City got scored against again, which is making this pick look bad, but it's not a bad pick. It's just they've been a little bit unlucky. So obviously you want more there. But I think there hopefully some clean sheets coming up. Trent Alexander-Arnold, 6 points. We'll take that every day of the week. Liverpool have been doing well with those clean sheets, so that comes in handy. And Robinson with a 4, definitely take that, especially at his price. We'll move to the midfield. Smith Rowe was disappointing, only with the 2. Well, he's not going to return every week, but when he does return, he could do really well. So that's the sort of risk you're taking there. Saka with 6, again, you take that. Not a massive haul, but we weren't expecting a massive haul. But 6 points is very good. Eze, the man I transferred in, I just had a feeling he was going to score against Chelsea, and he did. Very happy, 10 points. Diogo Jota with 3, a little bit disappointing there. Could definitely have got a return, but it is what it is. Again, 3, not ideal, but we'll take it. And up front, Isaac on 9 was very happy. It was only a matter of time before he returned, and it looks like he could return in the next 6 weeks as well. Erling Haaland, 34 again. Is that, I think that was the second hat trick in a row, I believe. Let's click on his stats. Again, it was 2 weeks ago. So, yep, 2 hat tricks in a row. Absolutely insane. Muniz 2, he's yet to bag. Unfortunate. He was someone who I bought in. I took that -4, hoping that he would return. He's had a bit of a break, so hopefully he comes back and bounces back this week. And on my bench, Iverson didn't play. Rogers 2, Johnson 0, even though he played, and Hall 1 was subbed on. So, yeah, look, pretty good there. Pretty good. Now, one thing I do want to do is we'll look at the break evens league. So we got Keith with Drayton Rovers, scored a 91 last week at 270. We got Matthew with Oh No, Not Again, scored a 77. He's only 5 behind him. They're the two front runners, as it seems, at the moment, with Robert and Aaron hot on their tail. So this is something I'm going to do every week now. Just go through, see how the break evens league is going. If you look at where I am, 95th. I had a poor first week, didn't triple captain second week, and had a decent week this week. So it is what it is. Now, let's get to my pick team. And I'm going in unchanged, funny enough. Henderson against Leicester, I think is a real chance for a clean sheet here. So going to keep him. And I'll probably keep him until I think about wild carding, which I'm thinking about doing in game week 6. So he's definitely in here for the next couple weeks. Gavardio against Brentford. Surely there's a clean sheet. Mbeumo can score. And Brentford haven't looked too bad. So hoping for a clean sheet there. Trent Alexander-Arnold against Nottingham Forest. You'd think that'd be a clean sheet. But you got big Chris Wood up there. So you never know what's going to happen. As we move to Robinson against West Ham, hoping for a clean sheet here, but I think he's really good for an attacking return. So we will see how that goes. Emil Smith-Rowe, again, could be a return here for him. I'm happy to take that risk. Saka against Tottenham, bit of a tougher matchup here. There's no Declan Rice. There's no Mikel Merino. And it looks like Odegaard will be missing as he injured his ankle. I think it's just a minor sprain. So it could be 1 to 2 weeks. He needs to get a few things looked at there, but he's not there. So they don't really have a midfield. So this might be a bad week for Saka. Or it will help him because he'll be the main guy. So it'll be interesting to see there, but I'm not expecting a huge return here. And if he does, it's a win. Eze against Leicester, I think he is a big chance for a brace. For those who don't know, a brace is 2 goals. So I definitely see him returning. Diego Jota, I think he's still got that striker position locked down for now. So big chance for a return here as well. As we move to the forwards on the bench, Isaac against Wolves. I really like this matchup. Again, a game where he could score. So fingers crossed there. Haaland against Brentford. Defense hasn't looked great for Brentford, if I'm being honest. So definitely a chance. I'm not expecting another hat trick. 3 in a row would be crazy. But most likely my captain this week. And Muniz against West Ham. Can he finally return? Fingers crossed. Iverson on the bench. I know he's not playing, so that's all good. Rodgers, I could start him against Everton. He did score a penalty for the under-21s the other day. I can see him possibly returning, but he hasn't showed a return yet. So that's why he's on the bench. First on the bench, because I feel like he's most likely to return out of all the bench players. But I could easily have him on for Muniz or Smith Rowe if I wanted, but not quite sold on that. Hall against Wolves. He hasn't started the last 2 games for Newcastle, which is a little bit frustrating. So he's just a bench option there behind Rodgers. And Ben Johnson against Brighton. Didn't do all too much last week against Brighton, who have looked pretty good as a defender. I'm not expecting a clean sheet here by Ipswich. But he can also, because he's playing in the right mid spot, he could also get an assist. So he's least likely on my team to have a return, I think. So that's why he's third on the bench spot. Looking at the team, I'm most likely going Haaland into Jota, or Haaland into Eze. I think, yeah, Haaland definitely captain, especially he's gone 34 the last 2 weeks. So that's how the team will be lining up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go into Fantasy Football Hub and see what the algorithm thinks of my team and how they think it will go this week. So give me a second to set that up. All right, so I've put the team in here and set it up in the way it will, and it rates my team 95 out of 100, which is really good. Anything over 94, your team's usually going to do pretty well. Low 90s are okay, but if you're under a 90 rating, you're going to find that most likely, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be a bit below the average. So looking really good here. I'm hoping for a big week from my team. So this is something I'm going to show every week as well. If you do want to go on the Fantasy Football Hub to use this, just search Fantasy Football Hub team rate or rating. It'll be the first thing that pops up. And Fantasy Football Hub is a great tool. This isn't a sponsored video. It's just something I use and something we're going to use each week. So might as well tell everyone to have a look. You can suggest transfers here as you see, but that's a paid subscription. I don't pay for that. So if you wanted to do that, what the algorithm does is they check your team and tells you and suggest transfers for you to try and improve that team. So if you want to do that, you can, but I don't personally. So, all right, let's get on to what teams target if you are doing a wild card in game week 4. Once again, Fantasy Football Hub, accept all these. So I've gone for the next 6 weeks, so from 4 to 9, easiest overall fixtures. So this is how we have it. If you were thinking about wildcarding game week 4, you look at these fixtures and you go, okay, hang on, actually, give me 2 seconds because I can see my camera is over the fixture. So give me 1 second to fix that. And I'm back. Sorry about that. So this is a great tool. You can filter, from rounds 4 to 9, 4 to 10, whenever, to see who has the easier run. So if you're wildcarding in game week 4, the best team to target is, by the algorithm's sake, is Aston Villa, as they have Everton, Wolves, Ipswich, United, Fulham, and Bournemouth. Obviously, you'll be looking at the Everton, Wolves, Ipswich, and Bournemouth games for where they can really score and potentially have clean sheets. The Man United could be a bit tougher, and Fulham, they're usually a pretty good defensive side. So 4 out of 6 there, looking pretty good. Brighton, Ipswich, so they have Ipswich, Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, Tottenham, Newcastle, Wolves. So obviously Ipswich, Nottingham Forest, and Wolves are the big fixtures there. Chelsea, Tottenham, Newcastle, they're all leaking goals. So on a technicality, the attackers can do well, but Brighton are looking good defensively. So, Tottenham haven't looked great going forward. Same with Newcastle. Isaac is yet to really fire. Chelsea have the best attack out of all those teams, so could potentially lose a clean sheet there. But Brighton are looking good. Crystal Palace is another one. You look at Leicester, United, Everton, Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, and Tottenham. Obviously, Liverpool, Tottenham, and United are the tougher ones. Liverpool is the hardest by far, and Tottenham and United can get scored against. But Leicester, Everton, Nottingham Forest, I feel like Eze could do really well here. So we'll move to Man City. They have Brentford, Arsenal, Newcastle, Fulham, Wolves, and Southampton. Obviously, the Arsenal game is a tougher one, so clean sheet could be ruled out here. And it's most likely going to be low scoring if both defenses hold up. So that's the one you are a bit worried about. But then there's Newcastle, who aren't looking great, and then the easier games in Brentford, Fulham, Wolves, and Southampton. So that's what I would be looking at personally. Let's have a look. So we've got Everton, Villa, Leicester, Ipswich, not really looking. Brentford, I saw a lot of people went Embuemo last week. Not liking these fixtures at the moment. Again, Chelsea have good fixtures up to the Liverpool Newcastle game. So Bournemouth, West Ham, Brighton, Nottingham Forest. Unfortunately, with Chelsea, unless it's Cole Palmer, who is slightly injured, 75% chance of playing, you're not really going anywhere because no one else is really locked in that final 11. So probably not going there. Arsenal have Tottenham and City, which are tough, and then 3 easy games, and then Liverpool. But after that Liverpool game, I'm pretty sure their fixtures open up. So looking, it does get a little bit harder for most of the teams, and that's why I'm looking at a game week 6 wildcard. So if you're wildcarding, I think your Ollie Watkins could do well here if he plays. Bailey just got injured. I don't think he's playing this week, could play the week after. So you really want to focus on those Aston Villa assets, attacking defense. Brighton, you look at a Mitoma, João Pedro, could definitely be a good look in. For Crystal Palace, Eze is the main one. Obviously, a lot of people have Henderson as well. So if they can hold up defensively, they should do really well. Man City, you got Haaland. Rico Lewis is doing well at the moment with Walker out. Could we see Foden come back? I know he's ill at the moment, 75% chance of playing. Gavardiol, again, is someone who, if they can keep that clean sheet, should do well. Apart from that, you're not really, you can have still your Liverpool guys. So Forest, Bournemouth, Wolves next 3, then Crystal Palace, then Chelsea and Arsenal. Your Jotas, your Arnolds, your Salahs. If you can fit 1 or 2 of those guys in, I think you're doing pretty well there. So what do Newcastle have? You could even go Newcastle with Aaron Gordon and Isaac, or maybe like a Dan Burn or someone in defense. So I think if you try and get, obviously Haaland and Salah or Jota, then you can really target your Watkins or João Pedro. So you could have Haaland, Watkins, João Pedro, your Jotas. Where is Fulham? Fulham have a up and down, so you could have Smith Rowe if you wanted to rotate with Morgan, Rogers for Villa. Again, you could rotate him with Smith Rowe if he can finally get a return, something there. With Fulham, you can have Robinson there. He's always attacking. So you can build a solid team around that if you are trying to wildcard in game week 4. You aim for most of these players, and then when fixtures start to turn, if we have a look at Arsenal, it's this Leicester game, which is game week 6. Things start to change for them. So if I go game week 6 to, let's say, 12, yes, it won't let me. So, but I know that their fixtures do open up. Won't show me past 9 because I don't have the premium, but that's fine. But I do know their fixtures do open up after that Liverpool game. So you wildcard in game week 4, you hold your transfers, you roll them over, you get to game week 6, you can do 3 transfers, swap people out, bring in those Arsenal players that you want. So yeah, make sure you use Fantasy Football Hub. It does help a lot. Again, not paid, but this is a tool that I use to help me make my decisions. So, I think that is it for the podcast. I'm going to sign off now. So thank you all for watching. If you want to hit me up on Twitter/X at BreakEvensPod, on Facebook, The Break Evens, and over here on YouTube at The Break Evens. Like, follow, subscribe. If you have a question, DM me, post the question with me tagged, put it in the comments, whatever it is. I'm happy to answer your question. It could be anything FPL related. And that is it for this week. Everything will be posted by Friday. That's included in this video. All the price changes and my must buys for this week. All that will be posted on all of those platforms. So thank you all once again for watching and listening. And until next time, it's bye for now.